with a capital C.
Okay. All right. I assume, hopefully, Erwin will be joining us shortly. Okay, but we're going to get started momentarily. Again, our goal today is to try to finish Ayin Vav Amud Beis, which is relatively short, but still very full, if I might use that word. And then to include Ayin Zion, and we'll try to go through as much of that as we can. Ayin Zion Amud Beis is a fair length of material. So we'll cover what we can, okay?
We need to get to the next volume sometime then.
Yeah, I would believe that volume 1, I think, only goes up to Pei Aleph, if I remember correctly.
No,
Okay.
76B, B1.
It may depend.
Ayin Vav.
It may depend on whether you're using Art Scroll or something else.
Right.
Okay, but I would say that that it fairly soon, probably as of next week, certainly, or the end, that those will have to switch to volume 2. Okay.
Today?
All right.
Okay.
Today?
All right. We are, as I said, going to start with Ayin Vav Amud Beis with the Mishnah on the top of the page. Remember, we've been dealing with measurements, okay? And the question of those measurements being carried out into a separate domain on Shabbat, requiring the person then to, assuming it's Shogeg, bring a chatas. Okay? Mishnah on top of the Amud, Matniten, Hamotzi Ochlim, Kigrogeret. Okay? We're saying that one who, on Shabbat, who brings it into a domain where carrying is prohibited and the amount of foodstuffs is the amount of that fig bulk amount, chayav. Right? It says, umitztarfin, says the Mishnah, ze im ze, b'pnei sheshavu b'shiurehen. So all varieties of foodstuffs, okay, could join. So if you have, let's say, a half a fig amount of grain and a half a fig amount of something else, they are mitztaref, they do join together. Chutz, says the Mishnah, with the exception, mikli patan, from their shells, v'garinehem, with their seeds, v'oktsehem, their stems, right? V'sovan, good morning, all right, v'sovan is their bran, or others want to translate it husks, umor sanan, and their coarse bran. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, chutz miklipei adashin. Says Rabbi Yehuda, with the exception of the shells for lentils, shemit bashlot imahen, that are cooked along with them. Okay. We're getting then a sense of the fact that Gemara is going to try to clarify, okay, not only this machloket, but also what some of these items are. Okay, Vesuvan umur sanan lo mitztarfinen. He says the bran and the coarse bran, they don't join together. Normally, that's part of the, if you call it the grain, right? Vahatnan, and aren't we taught elsewhere in a Mishnah? Chameshet Revaim Kemach. Okay, we're talking about the fact here that a log, okay, 5 quarters of the log, if you will, are the flour. Va'od chayavin b'chala. And isn't that then also the require challah, that if somebody has that amount of flour with the husk or with the bran and the coarse bran still mixed in it, okay, that total amount, okay, would be requiring the person to take challah. So the Gemara answers, okay, Haim, okay, Visuvan Umur Sunan. That means them along with the husks and the bran and the coarse bran. Amar Abaye, what's the important significance? Says Abaye, Shekain ani ochel pato be'esa belusa. Okay, because says Abaye, a poor person often eats his bread, okay, that's made of dough with mixed with the bran. In other words, he doesn't sift it finely, okay, to make his bread. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, says Rabbi Yehuda, chutz miklipe adashim hamit bashlot imahem, with the exception of those lentils that have their husks or their shells cooked with them. Adashin ein pulin lo, asks the Gemara. Lentils, yes, but the beans, no. There aren't certain kinds of beans that also have to be cooked, okay, with the shell still around them. Vahatanya, okay, says the Braita. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, chutz miklipe pulin va'adashin. And he says, with the exception of, again, the shells of beans, as well as lentils, lo kasha. There's no problem here, says the Gemara. Ha bechadate, ha ba'atike. One with the newer beans, okay, one with older beans. The implication being that the newer beans tend to be softer, so their shells combine with them, whether and the older beans, the shells come off them after they're cooked, right? And they become dark, right? So the Gemara says, Atike ma'itamalo. Okay, why do we say then that with the older beans, okay, it's not an issue? Amar Rabbi Abahu, mipnei shenir'im kizvuvin b'ka'ara. Why, says Rabbi Abahu? Because people find that the dark black shells of the lentils or the beans look like flies on their plate, and they find that disgusting, and so therefore they're not going to eat that. Okay. All right, Hadran alach klal gadol. Okay, we now go to our new perek, right? And we're still dealing with this example of measurements. Okay. Now, a question we might ask as we're going to explore this topic is, we've seen that there's a specific measurement in regards to foodstuffs. We see that there's specific measurements in regards to animal fodder, depending if it's for what animal it is. Could we say, okay, or could we raise the question, the same way the measurement might vary, which we saw before with regards to animal food, might we argue regarding human food, okay? Could it depend on what purpose or what use that food stuff is for? For example, am I going to eat it immediately, or am I going to simply store it for a later meal on Shabbat? Or maybe I'm going to store it to eat it after Shabbat. Okay? What makes that measurement, what we'll call the word significant, okay? Such that it's a measure large enough to say that it is prohibited to have been carried out on Shabbat, okay, from one domain to another domain, okay? So that's where we're picking up now, okay? It does it based on use that determines its significance and its not being able to be carried out. So our new Mishnah starts off as follows. Hamotzi yayin kedei mezigat hakos. One who carries out enough undiluted wine. Remember, okay, that was the case there in Israel. Okay, that was the case that they used, and they would mix it with water. Okay, and they had a formula. Okay, so if you carried out this undiluted wine into the domain, how much? What was the amount of that one might be over, transgress, carrying? Okay, kadei mezigat hakos, enough to mix, okay, wine that would go into a mixing of a cup, right? What do we mean by cup here? We're talking about a cup of wine for Kiddush or for Havdalah, and the usual ratio, okay, as we're talking about, okay, is 3 parts water to 1 part wine, okay, right? So it's a quarter of a log of wine is what we're saying, okay? The next example, chalav kedei gemiyah, enough milk, okay, to swallow in a single gulp. The next example, dvash, honey, kedei litein al hakatot, enough honey to put on a sore or a scab. The next example, shemen, oil, kedei lasuch ever katan, enough to put to oil to rub on a small limb. Okay. Gemara is going to go into this particular example in some detail. Okay. Mayim, water, kedei lashuf bohem et hakilor, enough water, we're saying in this case, to put on one's eye as a kind of salve, all right, to help make an eye bandage. Gemara is going to discuss this in more detail. Okay. All right. Next, v'shar kol hamashkin b'revi'it, and all the other liquids. Okay, one would be over if they had a revis, a 1/4 of a log. V'chol hashofchin, okay, and all of the, what we'll call waste water at this point. B'revi'is, that's also revis, 1/4 of a log, right? Rabbi Shimon Omer, kulam b'revi'is, and according to Rabbi Shimon, there was one single measure for all of these liquids, namely a revi'is. Okay, v'lo ne'amru kol hashi'urin el halalu ela lamatzni'iehen. And the only reason that our Mishnah discusses these measurements is in regards to those who would consider them significant enough of a measure in order to store them. Right? So remember, we had a previous Mishnah that argued, all right, about the question if somebody took something and stored it and somebody else took it out, okay, who's responsible? Is it both people have to bring the chatas if it's taken into a different domain, or only the person okay, who took it out. We had that Rabbi Yehuda's view previously. Okay, now our Gemara. Tana, our Gemara says, Tana, it was taught in a Braita, Kadem Zigat Kos Yafeh. This means that he has to have enough wine to make I want to call it a nice cup, a full measured cup, okay? In other words, remember the Gemara uses that word Yafeh here, Kos Yafeh. Generous was often used as a translation or explanation elsewhere. Okay. Umay Kos Yafeh, asks the Gemara. What do we mean that it's got to be a generous cup? Kos shel bracha. This is a cup for a blessing. Again, that's where we get the implication for Kiddush or for Havdalah. Okay. Amar Rav Nachman. Amar Rava bar Avuha. He says in the name of Rava bar Avuha, Kos shel bracha, tzrich sheyehe bo rova revi'itz, right? Kadei. Okay. It has to have, says Rav Nachman in the name of Rava bar Avuha, a cup for a blessing has to be sufficient enough wine, okay, that we say that it is at least 1/4 of a quarter log of wine, right? Sheyimazgenu v'yamod al haravi'it, that when they pour it, you will have in the cup at least a ravi'is. So that says, again, 3 parts water to 1 part wine. Okay. Amar Rava, says Rava af anan nami tanina. So we also have learned, says Rava. Let's go on now to Ayin Zion, right? What did we learn? Tanina hamotzi yayin kadei mizigat kos, one who carries out the undiluted wine enough, okay, to a measure that it's enough for making a nice, generous cup of for blessing. V'tani aleh kadei mizigat kos yafeh, and we taught that this has to be enough for a full measured, a generous cup. Okay, ukatani sefer, and yet it was also taught at the end of the Mishnah, v'shar kol hamashkin b'ravis, that all of the liquids generally had to be for a ravis. Okay. V'Rava l'ta'ameh. And Rava, however, held to he was consistent with his view from elsewhere. The Amar Rava, as he says, kol chamra, okay, any wine, right? The lo dari al chad, okay, that it's less than 1 part, tlat maya, in other words, that it's less than 1 part water and 1 part wine and 3 parts water, okay? Lav chamrahu, it's not considered, so to speak, real wine, because there we're also talking about the appearance of the wine. Otherwise, if it's too watered down, it doesn't have the appropriate color. Amar Abai, says Abai shtei tshuvot b'davar. There are 2 answers that can be used to challenge Rava's statement. Chada, 1, Ditnan v'hamazug, talking in terms of mixing water and wine, okay, right, makes the wine less than a measure. So you don't even get the minimum measure. Shnei chelkei mayim ve'echad yayin, because that would result in only 2 parts water and 1 part wine. Men hayayin hashironi, and that's in regards to the wine that comes primarily from the Sharon wine, okay, which Sharon wine was, okay, along the coast, all right, where they only did it 2 parts water to 2-part wine. Okay, so why say that otherwise it's not wine unless it's the 3-to-1 ratio? Va'odin, furthermore, mayim bakad umitztarfi. Okay, do we say here, okay, that that the water, okay, in the jug, let's say, okay, is that the case? Is that included? All right. So in other words, again, we're dealing with a question of measurement. Amar le Rava, says Rava, Hadika amart shnei chelkei mayim ve'echad yayin min hayayin hashironi. The fact that you gave the example of Sharon wine, where it's a mixture of 2-part water to 1-part wine, I mean, that's only for that particular variety of wine. Okay, that's the important. The ayin hashironi lechod darfe. Why? Because that happens to be a weaker wine. Okay, hachanami. Okay, also he says hatam mishum chazuta aval latama bait fei. And there also, where you challenged me, that was only in regards to the appearance. Okay? Right? And this is in regards to taste. Right? So that's his point. Right? Okay, so that is the case. All right. Right? So, and then he further argues with him. Udika amrat, mayim bekad umitztarfi. Okay, and when you say that the taste, when there's more water than wine, okay, in the barrel or in the jug, le'inyan Shabbat, midei dechashiv ba'inan. Okay, do we say with regards to the Shabbat, we require something there that's more substantial? V'hanami hachashiv, and therefore that is the reason that it's considered significant. Okay, that it is considered, okay, we don't really count the water, but we count the amount of wine, that even when we have to add the water. Okay, Gemara now picks up and finishes here. All right, Tana, Yavesh, Bekazayat, Divrei Rabbi Natan. Okay, we're saying now, a Tana taught that when we talk about someone to say it's a dry wine, others congealed wine, okay, all right, that the standard is that of an olive's amount, Divrei Rabbi Natan. Amar Rabbi Yosef, and Rabbi Yosef says, right, Rabbi Natan v'Rabbi Yosef v'Rabbi Yehuda amru davar echad. That Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Natan, Rabbi Yossi, right, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, all said the same thing. Rabbi Natan, Hada Amran, Rabbi Nathan, as we said, for Rabbi Yossi, but Rabbi Yehuda. The Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Omer teaches in the name of his father the following: Shisha Devarim Mikulei Beit Shammai Umichumrei Beit Hillel. There were 6 items that were the leniencies of Beit Shammai, but the stringencies of Beit Hillel. Okay? And now he's going to list at least some of them. All right? Dam nevela, okay, whether the blood of a nevela, okay, right, animal slaughtered and was considered nevela, does it render tuma? Right? Beit Shammai metaharim, Beit Hillel metam'in. Beit Shammai says it is clean, let's say, and Beit Hillel says it's unclean. Right? Amar Rabbi Yossi b'Rabbi Yehuda, Af kashem Beit Hillel. Even when Beit Hillel said that it was tameh, right? Lo timu ela bedam sheyesh bo revi'it. There, only Beit Hillel used the minimum measurement, again, of a revi'it, of a quarter log, right? To say there had to be that much blood to be able to render it tameh. O'il v'yachol likrosh v'la'amod al kazayit. Because that amount of blood is able to congeal, and then it would be measurable to that of a size of an olive. Amar Abai, so Abai responds, Dil Malohi, perhaps that's not so, right? Ad kan lo ka'amar Rabbi Natan Hacha. Up to this point, Rabbi Nathan didn't say it, namely that a congealed piece the size of an olive requires revi'is, right? Yeah, right? The ba'i revi'is ela biyayin dekalish. There, that only applied to wine which we'll call thin, okay, more liquidy, okay? Aval badam, but regards to blood, desamich kazayit, where the blood could be thick itself, even in its liquid form, as thick as an olive amount, right? The size of an olive when it congeals. Okay. Lo bai revi'it. He does not require it to be a revi'is in the liquid form. Inami, also the following. Ad kan lo ka'amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda hatam dipikazayit. At that point also, Rabbi Yehuda, Yossi, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, was saying that the size of an olive when congealed, okay, or of a revi'is when it's in liquid form, right? Sagi labor revi'is ela bedam desamich. That was only a situation when the blood was thick, right? Aval yayin, but in regards to wine, dekalish, where the wine is thin, okay? Kazayas havayoter meravis, that perhaps the olive amount would even be more than that of the size of the revis. L'chimafik, okay, and if one carries it out, pachot mikazayas l'chayev, that would be less than a kazayas, which would imply that he would be liable, and that's not what the Mishnah is saying. Okay, so that ends that particular discussion. Okay? Now we come to our next item from our Mishnah, the milk. Okay? Chalav kedei gmi'ah. He said that was enough milk to be gulped at one time. Ibayalahu. So the rabbis discussed and asked the question, kedei gmi'ah or kedei gmi'ah, right? Is it with a gmi'ah with an aleph or gmi'ah with an ayin? Okay. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, hagmi'eni na ma'at maya mikadek, citing a pasuk, right? Give me to drink from a little bit of the water. We remember that from Bereshis, the story, right? And that tells us it's with an aleph. Ibayalahu. So now we go over to Ayin Zion Amud Beis. Another spelling question. Gar inin with an aleph or gar inin, okay, with a ayin. Okay. Again, the question of kernels, right? Seeds. How is it spelled? Amarava bar Ula, he says, citing a pasuk, v'nigra me'erkecha. Okay, and Ula says, and the abatement will be made from thy estimation. Right? Again, the pasuk telling us with an ayin. Ibayalaho. Okay. Umamot, dimming coals, or omamot, again with an ayin. Aleph or ayin. Amar Rav Yitzchak bar Avdimi. Okay. Again, he's going to cite a pasuk. Arizim lo amamuhu began Elohim. That the cedars in the garden of Hashem did not obscure him. Again, amamo here with an ayin. Ibayalaho. So again they ask, Ma'amtzin tznan or Ma'amatzin? Again with an aleph or an ayin. Okay, spelling. Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, in the name of Chia bar Abba, he says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Right, what does he say? Right, Va'otzim einav mirot ra. Right? He shuts his eyes from looking upon evil, and we see it spelled with an ayin. Okay? Now, Tanu Rabbanan. Back now to our actual question, not of spelling but and language, but of the issue. Tanu Rabbanan says a braita. Hamotzi chalav shel behema kadei gemi'ah. One who carries out the milk of an animal, okay, in a measurement of a swallowful. Okay, let's use that. Chalav shel isha. Okay, what about a woman's milk? Okay, Velovan shel beitza, or the white of an egg. Kadei litain b'mishifa. Okay, shel kilor. That is enough to put as ointment for an eye bandage. Okay, kadei lishof. Okay, kilor kadei lishuf b'mayim. Right, enough then to put it and sort of dissolve it in water and to be able to put it on, excuse me, one's eye, right? By Rav Ashi, and Rav Ashi asks, Kadei shiyafeh or kadei achiza v'shiyafeh? Okay, are we talking then about dissolving it, okay, and putting it, rubbing it, okay, or are we talking about being able to rub it and dissolve it and rub it, okay, on both, one eye or two eyes? Teku. We don't have a clear answer there. Okay? Is it dissolving or dissolving and holding it on? Apparently, the white of an egg was often used as eye medication in those days. Right? Okay, let's go on. Davash kadei litain al hakatit. Right? Enough honey to put it on a scab or a sore. Okay. Tana kadei litain al pi katit. Our Mishnah, we have a braita that says enough to put on the opening of a scab or sore. By Rav Ashi, and Rav Ashi then asks, when it says al katit, on the sore or the scab, apuma dekula katit? Are we talking here about the entire opening of the scab? Or dilma, or perhaps amursha kama dekatit la'afuke hodarna delo. Or are we simply talking about putting it on the top of the scab and not putting it on the area around the entire scab or entire sore, okay, which therefore is not going to be required. Teku. We have no clear answer here. Okay. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. He says, Kol ma shebara HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'olamo lo bara davar echad levatala. Now, we've had these variety of items, okay, used for other purposes, right? The white of the egg, for example, not just as a foodstuff, but as a medicine. So that leads us to this statement that Rav Yehuda is saying in the name of Rav, that when Hashem created certain things, he had a specific purpose in mind. We might not always understand or appreciate the purpose, but now the Gemara is going to go into a side discussion, okay, of a number of aspects of what I'll call the way of the world, natural order of things. Right? So let's go on. Right? So what happens? Bara shavlul lekatit. Okay. What did he do? He said, for example, he created the snail, okay, as a remedy for a katit, for a scab or a sore. Apparently, they would use that as medicinal. Bara zvuv letzira. Okay, created the fly for the hornet's sting. Again, notice in each case we're suggesting that these other items were used as medicinal remedies for something. Yitush lenachash. He created the mosquito for a snake bite. V'nechash lechafifit. And he created the snake, I guess some sort of venom of the snake, okay, lechafafit, for some sort of skin rash. Okay. Going on, the samamit, and we have the example, okay, of another animal. Some want to explain it as a spider. Some want to explain it as more like a kind of lizard, like a gecko. Okay, la'akrav, for the sting of a scorpion. Hechi avidle, how does one do that? Asks the Gemara. Maite chada uchma. Okay, he says, what happens? Okay, all right. One brings one black spider or a gecko. Okay, v'chada chivara, and one white one. V'shalke laho. Okay, and he boils the skin of the animal. V'shaife le, and he rubs it on the wound. Okay. A new brighter. Okay. Tanu Rabbanan. The rabbis teach the following. Chamisha emot hen. There are 5 kinds of fears. Okay. 1. Emat chalash al gibor. Okay. It's the fear of the weak over the strong. That we can understand. 5 instances of fear. Okay. Second, Eimat mafkia al ari. Okay. This is the fear of the mafkia over the ari. A lot of discussion of what this mafkia might be. Okay. One wants to say it's a kind of Ethiopian gnat that can get into the ear of the lion. Others want to say it's a kind of polecat. Okay. Others want to suggest it's more like a skunk. Okay. Eimat yitush al hapil. Okay. The fear for mosquito on an elephant. Again, the concern is mosquito will fly up the trunk of the elephant, right? Ema simamit al akrab. Again, the fear of the spider or the lizard, okay, regarding the scorpion, okay. Emat snunit al hanesher. Okay. Here we get another example. Here we're talking about the fear of the smaller bird, like a swallow, towards the eagle. Why? Because swallows and other birds travel in packs. And if an eagle alone were to try to attack the nest, the whole pack, so to speak, of swallows would react to the eagle. Emat kilavit al leviathan. And here we would say again, the fear of the kilbit, okay, which is a kind of fish, okay, stickle fish, okay, that has a fish that has spikes, al leviathan, on leviathan, okay, on a larger fish, okay, because again, it could swim and block its gills or into its mouth or things like that. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Amar Rav. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rav, okay, Ma'ikra, okay, what is the pasuk alluding to all of these? Okay, these examples, Mavlig Shod al Ez, that strengthens the weaker over the stronger. Okay, let's go on. Now, Rabbi Zera, okay, is going to tell us an interesting story and then continue with this lesson about nature, about the ways of the world. Rabbi Zera ishkach l'Rav Yehuda. Rav Zera happened to meet, okay, Rav Yehuda, the Havakai Apitcha de Bechamuha, who was standing at the doorway of his father-in-law's house. The Chazia, the Have Bedicha Da'ate, and he saw that he was in a good mood, a light mood, a cheerful mood. Okay, V'ibaye mine kol chalale alma, and he thought perhaps he could ask him about all of the secrets of the world, all of the ways of the world. Hava Amarle. Okay, and so now we get a whole series of examples here. Okay, he said to him, Amarli Mai Tama, Ize Maskan Beresha, Bahadar Amre. Okay, what is the reason, he says, that goats march at the front of the flock, right? And the ewes, okay, right, follow afterwards. V'hadar imre, and the ewes follow afterwards. Amarle kavriyato shel olam. Okay, that's the answer he gives him is similar to the order of the world, of how the world was created. The Beresha chashucha, v'hadar nehora, that at first there was darkness, and then there was light. Namely, the goats are dark, while the sheep are white, or the ewes are white. Okay? All right, next. Ma'itama hani mechasyan. Okay, why is it that the goats, have their genitals covered? Vahani miglayan. And these others don't have their genitals revealed. Okay, so he answers, Hani de mechasinan minayu, since we cover ourselves with them, okay, we use their items, their wool, for clothing, mechasayan, they're covered. Vahani delo mechasinan, and these that we don't use their wool or their hair for garments, minaihu megalayan, they are revealed. Next, Maitama Gamla Zutar Gnuvate. What is the reason that camels have short tails? Okay. So his answer, Mishum Da'achal Kise, right? Because they eat thorns. Okay. What is, right? What does that mean? Basically, that if they had long tails, their tails would be get caught, okay, in the tangled up all in the thorns. Next question. Ma'itama Torah Aricha Ganu Vate. Okay, so he asks in the, okay, why is it that the oxen, okay, right? What's the reason that oxen have long tails, right? Mishum de dayer ba'agme, okay, ubai lekarkushe bakay, right? The reason they have long tails, okay, is that they need those tails to shake away, to push away any mosquitoes, okay? Since they eat in swamps area, right? Next example, Ma'itama karna de kamtsa rechicha. What is the reason that the antenna of grasshoppers, okay, are soft or flexible? Says the answer, Mishum de daira bechilfe, because they live on grassy plains, right? The ikasha, and if they were hard, right? Naja umit horara, okay? What would happen is then they would break off and the grasshoppers would be mit avra, they would become blind. The Amar Shmuel, as Shmuel says, Hai man de bai delis mai, okay, one, right, wants to, okay, to blind a locust, right? Lekamsa, to a locust. Lishlufinhu lekarne, remove his antennae. Okay. Again, another question. Ma'itama. Okay, what's the reasoning? Hai timra the tarnagolta madle laela. Okay, what's the reason we say that for fowl, that their timra, the lower eyelids, okay, the eyelid goes up above the upper one, okay, the dire adafe, but they live on the top of rafters, on beams, the ayel kitra, and if smoke would go up, mid avra, okay, they would become blind, okay? So the next series, we have to assume he's asking the same thing. Ma'itama. Okay, what's the reason something is called this? And then he's going to give a short answer, right? So Ma'itama, let's assume dasha. Why is a door called a dasha? It's abbreviation for derech sham, okay? That the road is there. This is the way. Darga, why is a stairs or a ladder called darga? Derech gag, because it tells us that's the way to go up to the roof. Mat kulita, what's the reason that it's called mat kulita, like a kind of, let's call it weaver's loom, because the person says, Matai tichle da. When will all this be finished? Okay? In other words, the length of time to work on it. Beta. Okay, why is a house, for example, a narrow house called a house called a beta? Ba ve'etiv ba. Come and sit inside. Bikta. What is this term meaning? A small house. Be'atka. Okay, it is a confined house. Kufta. Okay, what do we mean by a kufta? A kli, a vessel that's turned over. Kof v'tiv. Okay, turn the vessel over and you can sit on it as a low seat. Livne, why do we call livne bricks? Livne b'nei. Okay, it means something that continues from one generation to another. Okay. Hotse, what about hotse? Chatzitza. Okay, hotse would be a kind of shrub or a hedge. Okay, and it means a chatzitza because it is a barrier. Okay. Shechotsev mayim min hana'ar. Okay, because it separates, right? It draws the water from the river. Kuza. Okay, what is this idea of a kuza? Like this? Kazeh. It's like this. All right. And the next word, okay, is shotita, right, which is a kind of myrtle branch. Shatuta. It refers to the idea of frivolous, frenzied dancing. Okay. Right. They would use those at weddings. Right. Meshichla. Okay. What is a meshichla? A kind of wash basin. Me'ishay kula. It means it washes all. Meshakilta. Okay, and what about the meshakilta? Okay, another kind of wash basin. Mashikalta. Okay, that's a special wash basin that was used for brides. Okay, asita. Right, with regards to an asita, which is a kind of mortar, right, for grinding. Chasirta. He said it's something that's missing. Okay. Buchana. Okay, again, buchana, which is also like a small pestle, a small club. Okay. Bo ba'akena. Okay. Come and I will strike it. Levusha. Okay. Levusha mean kinds of like a cloak or an upper garment. Lo busha, that the person should have no shame. Okay. Glima, also a kind of cloak. Okay. Shene'asa bo kegolem. Why? Because with a cloak over their whole body, they look like a golem, a shapeless being. Golta, okay. Here we say golta is another kind of long woolen garment, gali va'ativ. Namely, what would happen is that the person would take off the garment, okay, because it's a beautiful coat, and okay, in order so that then they would sit down, so they wouldn't ruin the garment. Puria, a bed, shaparin v'ravin aleha. Why? That they do the mitzvah of peru urvu. Okay, they have relations on it. Bor zinka, okay. In this case, a bor zinka, okay, is a kind of like Okay, leaping well might be one translation. Okay, bur ze naki, that we say that well is empty. Okay, it's got nothing in it. Sudra, okay, a sudra is a kind of turban or hat. Sod Hashem Av, okay, namely that it shows that one has respect for Hashem, okay, and has his head covered, right? Right, for that. Padna, okay. So the Padna is a palace, apitha din, okay. That in that case, we say that all are welcome to come for judgment. Tanu Rabbanan, says the Braita, new Braita. Shlosha, kol zman shemazkinin, umosefin gvura. Says the Braita, there are 3 items, 3 animals, that as long as they age, they continue to get stronger. The Eluhain, what are they? Dag, v'nachash, v'chazir. They are fish, they are snakes, and they are pigs, wild boars. Okay? Now let's go on. We're back to our original discussion in the Mishnah, okay, that dealt with the measurements again. Okay, shemen kadei lasuch aver katan, enough oil to be able to smooth or rub on a small limb. Okay, Amrei debei Rabbi Yanai, they said in the Academy of Rabbi Yanai, kadei lasuch aver katan, shel katan ben yomo. It's enough oil to rub on the small limb of a small child who's a day old. Meitive. But we challenge this. Shemen kadei lasuch aver katan. Our Mishnah, right, or our Braita says that it's enough oil to put on a small limb. V'katan ben yomo mai, and of a small child, a single day old, what? Lav aver katan de gadol. Isn't it not the small limb of an adult? Ve'aver gadol shel katan ben yomo. Or is it the large limb of a small one-day-old child? Amrei lach debei Rabbi Yanai. The Academy of Rabbi Yanai would answer you as follows. Lo, no, hachi ka'amar. This is what it means to tell us. Shemen kadei lasuch aver katan shel katan ben yomo. Okay. That it is enough oil to put on the small limb of a small one-day-old child. Lemak Tanai. Shall we say that this is a machloket Tanaim? Shemen kadei lasuch aver katan, katan ben yomo. Okay, that it's enough oil to put on the small limb, on the small child a day old. Divrei Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. That's the view of Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Rabbi Natan Omer, says Rabbi Natan, kadei lasuch aver katan mai. To put on a small limb, what are we talking about? Lav bahakim miflagei. Isn't this what they were arguing about? The Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Savar, that Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar is of the opinion, aver katan shel katan. Okay, that it's the small limb of a child. But Rabbi Natan Savar, aver katan de gadol. And Rabbi Natan says it's the small limb of an adult. Oh, or perhaps, aver gadol de katan, or maybe a large limb of a child. Aval aver katan shel katan ben yomo lo. Okay, but the small limb of a one-day-old child, no. That one, in that small amount, okay, you would not be chayav carrying it out. Lo, says the Gemara. That's not the case. The kuli alma, ever katan, the katan ben yamo. Okay? Now all agree that it's the small limb of a child that's a day old. All right? Let's go over a little bit. All right? Right? Okay, so what is it? Lo, right? Velita, the Rabbi Yanai. Right? And we don't agree. We don't say it's the view of Rabbi Yanai, Bahacha Bahaka Miflagei. And this is what they're really arguing about. Rabbi Shimon ben Eliezer Savar, Ever Katan de Gadol. Rabbi Shimon ben Eliezer says it's the small limb of an adult. The Ever Gadol de Katan ben Yamo. Okay? And the large limb of a day-old child. Ki hadade minhu. Because these limbs are really identical in size. Rabbi Natan Savar, Ever Katan the Gadol, and Rabbi Nathan says it's the adult's small limb. Okay. Yeah, yes. Ever Gadol the Katan ben Yomo, lo. Okay. And the large limb of a one-day-old child, no. Mai Haveala, what's our end result? What's our decision? Tashma, listen to the following. The Tanya taught in the Braita, Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer says, Shemen kadei lasuch ever katan shel katan ben yomo. Okay, it's enough oil, okay, that would make the person chayav to bring in a domain when it is sufficient to rub it on the small limb, okay, of a day-old child. Right? That would be the issue of the machloket, okay, as we saw. Right? And I think that's the place where we'll stop, okay, because ayin hay is the okay, ayin chet rather. I'm
Right.
sorry. That's ayin chet. That is Shabbos's daf. Okay. So we covered for tomorrow. I'll just give you a very quick, in a minute or two. Okay. Again, the Gemara is going to continue and deal with what's regarding the issue of the water. Okay. How much that compared to the other liquids. If that's the case, it goes into the discussion of the other liquids. Okay. In terms of Ravis, coming back to that, right? Then the Mishnah on the bottom of Ayin Chet is again going to deal with the topic of measurements. Okay? And this is items, for example, like a piece of rope, okay, or a piece of reed that could be used for making a basket or making a handle for a basket, things like that.
Right.
Okay, and ultimately it's a long Mishnah, okay, and then the Mishnah then goes, the Gemara then goes into other items that one might carry out on a Shabbat, whether it is over, whether the one is over. For example, let's say you have a receipt, okay, from a business, a loan, or say you have a tax collector's receipt. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
To what degree carrying them on Shabbat is one into a new domain, is that going to make the person chayev? Or do you say, no, perhaps the person, once they use that receipt, or once they've paid off the loan and things like that, then the piece of paper is worthless, and therefore a person would not be chayav. That's where the Gemara is going to, again, continue with these issues. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much. So tomorrow, we're
All
not going to do it all. Tomorrow?
No.
No.
Okay,
All right?
Very
okay,
good.
thank you.
Thank
So
you.
it gives you a little time to work. Okay, everybody. Stay well. Enjoy tonight's programs and tomorrow as well.
Rabbi,
Yeah.
8:15 on Sunday?
What? Yeah, we'll be back to 8:15 on Sunday. And then what we'll have to do is it'll give me a chance to figure out what to do because of the following Friday being Yontif as well. So we'll have to juggle next week a little bit as well.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, everybody,
you.
take care,
Thank you.
stay well.